Hey y'all, I'm Chas, and I want to welcome you to Heritage Acres Homestead. Here you'll find our family as we strive to live a life that pleases the Lord. We do our very best to make the most out of what we've been given, and so we'd like to invite you to come along and join us on this journey. Hey y'all, welcome back to Heritage Acres Homestead. I'm Chas, and we are full on Christmas mode here in our home, and I just love this time of year. I know if you followed me for a while, you know just how much I love Christmas. So this being the first Saturday in December, I decided it would be a great thing to show you a wonderful thing that you can take with you to gatherings, parties, maybe even fix it for your family for supper. Just saying you're having a movie night, or you just want to do something a little festive and a little fun, but still feed the family. I've got you covered because this is beautiful as well as delicious, and you can mix and match it any way you want, and you'll know what I mean by the time I get to it. So let's get started in the kitchen. I just had to show you my beautiful tree. I have actually decorated my tree, took it all down and added more lights to it because it was just needing something. And so I added some incandescent colored lights just to give me that retro feel that I love so much, that vintage, nostalgic, what I remember growing up kind of look. And it hit all the notes, and I love it so much. But we're not talking about the tree today. We're going to talk about another type of tree, and that's going to be with our pull apart loaf. So let's get busy and I'll show you how to make it. So I accidentally put my daughter's apron on, so it's a bit small on me. If you're wondering why that looks weird. But I just need something to cover me because I have somewhere to be in a little while. I have choir practice tonight, and I don't want to get filthy. So I need to start measuring out my ingredients. I am making a double batch, and I am going to make it in my mixer just for the sake of time. I'll be back. I got to get my measuring cup. For each batch, you're going to need 2.5 cups of flour. This is just a regular all-purpose flour. And this is a 1/2 cup measuring cup. So I'm going to do 5 cups since I'm doing double. All right, to our flour, we want to add, I believe it's a tablespoon of sugar. And this is a 1/2 tablespoon measuring spoon. We also want to add a teaspoon of salt per batch. We want 2 tablespoons of a fat of your choosing. And then you can get creative. That's going to be like your base. I'm going to add a little bit of chives, maybe about a tablespoon per batch. I'm also going to add some garlic, another tablespoon per batch, or, you know, several cloves. I bought this for some reason and I have it, so I'm going to use it. I normally have my own garlic that I ferment, but because I have it, I'm using it. We don't want to let it go to waste. Now, we also want to add our yeast. And this is, hang on, I'm going to get it out. So I actually forgot that I used the rest of the yeast that was in the freezer before I filmed this. So anyways, what I have is Fleshman's instant dry yeast, and I buy it in a bulk like at Sam's. I fill my little Tupperware container half full, keep it in the fridge, and keep the rest of the yeast in the drawer of the freezer. It will keep for a very long time down there. And it's not one of those yeasts that you have to bloom to get it active. It's active as soon as it hits your, water or whatever you're making. So it's quick. And if you're making quick breads, this is what you want. I'm also going to add 1 tablespoon of yeast to this. And I just got the horn blowed at me, so I'm going to check and see who it is. Okay, I went ahead and brought my mixture over here. To this, I'm putting in a cup, or for me, 2 cups, of quite warm water, like 110 to 120 degrees. I'm going to turn on, and I'm going to let it knead a good 5 minutes or so. All right, it's finished kneading, but I'm going to go ahead and pull this out of the bowl. And for this, you want to let it rest because we're going to kind of manipulate the dough. And right now it's a bit stiff, so it needs to relax a little bit. As you can see, it's not sticky. Compared to, I just pulled that off my hands, but I can hold it and it's not just coming off on my hands. So it's nice and smooth, and I'm gonna let it sit in here and just rest. It's not really gonna rise a lot like a bread dough or like a roll dough, but it's just gonna relax. And that's what we wanna do before we try to roll it out to start making our shapes. So maybe 5 minutes. Okay, now that we've let the dough relax, you'll see it has risen just a little bit, and that's perfectly fine. But I'm going to split my dough in 2 because I made enough for 2 braids. And I'm going to pop one over here on my baking sheet, and then I'm going to take the other one and leave it in the bowl just so it stays nice and warm and rests while we work with our first dough. So I have a little rolling pin here, and I'm just going to begin to start rolling my dough out on the baking sheet. I begin just trying to get it more of a rectangular shape, but as you will be able to see, as I'm rolling this out, I start kind of making that top piece form more of a point or like a triangle. And I do pick it up and kind of, work with it a little bit here and there, just trying to get that shape. Now that bottom, I want just as wide as the pan is. I can't remember exactly how big these are, but this is like a full sheet pan, not a half sheet. It's a full. So whatever size that is. But this little rolling pin is perfect because it fits right inside the pan, whereas my other one is too large. And you can see all those chives, and the garlic smells so good in this dough because of where I added it to it in the beginning stages. If you don't want to add garlic in yours or chives and you want to add something else, go for it. If you want to add nothing, it's all up to you. If you want to do something sweet and you want to add some, some cinnamon or something in your dough, go for it. It's like the world is your oyster. You do what you need to do or want to do with this bread. So, being that I'm making it savory, and I knew I was going to be using like pizza ingredients inside, that's what I went with. I probably should have used basil, but for whatever reason, I used chives, and it was great. You know me, I use what I got, and that's exactly what I did. So there we go. See, it's kind of a rough looking tree right now, but I promise you, it's going to look better. So just stick with me. So now that we've got it looking like a kind of almost like an arrowhead or something, we're going to get a little knife and we're going to begin making our slits. Okay, I tried to move it around so you can see a little bit better, but still, my angles are not perfect. But, you know, it's a one-woman operation. I've told you many times. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use my paring knife. There we go. Better angle. And I'm going to begin to make little slits in the dough. I don't want to go all the way to the middle, so about a third of the way in, all the way down this side. And no, they are not perfectly even. I really need to do better at that, but it is what it is. It's just fine. It looks really pretty when it's done. So even if it's not perfect, it's fine. And here I'm making a cut out of the bottom and taking out that dough. So I have like a stalk or a stump to the tree. So that it looks more like, like a Christmas tree. So now I'm going to do this to the other side, making those same slices into the dough, leaving that middle, intact. I'm not slicing that middle. There's a seam right down the middle that's going to stay that way. Now I'm going to cut the other side and make it so you can see the trunk of our tree. All right, see, we're getting there. We're getting there. Now for this one, I'm simply adding some pasta sauce or marinara sauce right down the middle. And but this is where you could get very creative. You do you in this area. Whatever your heart desires or your family loves, go for it. I'm sure you can make it into a delicious braid. I had some salami left over from our charcuterie board at Thanksgiving, so I'm just going to chop that up and I'm going to add it to it. And that's the beauty of taking something like this. It looks really impressive, but basically it's made with some of my leftovers, and just a little bit of fresh ingredients from from the tomato sauce that I preserved this summer and the bread dough that I made just now. So it's a little of this and a little of that. You've got something really beautiful. So getting that salami chopped up, and I'm going to add half of that to this one and the other half to the other. And then I'll add some cheese. And normally I add a bit more cheese, but again, I was using what I had on hand that was already ready. And so I had some Parmesan that I had bought for our Thanksgiving lasagna, and I used some of that because it was already grated for me. Or I think it was shaved rather than grated, but still, it worked perfectly. So adding that salami, now I'm adding some of that Parmesan, and this stuff is so good. Oh my goodness, it was so good. It was another thing I got at Sam's. And hopefully, now that we've got our filling in, you can see how I'm going to make these braids. So now I'm beginning at the top, and these top ones are little bitty, so they're easy to do. And you may not be able to twist them as good, but you're going to take one side, twist it, and lay it across like that. Now I'll take the other, twist, and lay it across and meet. And again, you can start either side. I wish it was a better angle so you could see. My big old hand is right in your way, isn't it? Sorry about that. But we're taking each side, twisting it, and bringing it to the middle. And then we're taking the other side and doing the same and meeting it. Now, I am being mindful as I do this that I'm graduating in size as I come out on the tree, that it's getting a little bigger as it goes. So I'm being mindful of that and not making it all one size as I'm coming down. Here as they get a little bit farther apart, I will use this extra dough that I cut from the tree trunk and used it in the middle, and it made it look like it met, even when it actually didn't meet. You'll be able to see that in just a moment. I didn't even cut it, y'all. I just tore it and threw it in there. And that is another beautiful thing. It still looks really impressive and really pretty. It doesn't have to be super precise. Now also, I have my oven heating at 400 degrees. And once it's hot, your bread is ready to go in. You don't have to let this rise again. You can let it rest if you want to a few minutes, but it's not necessary. This is ready to go in just as it is. Because I had that little bit of extra, I just went ahead and added it. Just so we would have the continuation of the twists on the bottom. Making sure all the seams meet. And there you go. Look how cute that is. Super cute. All right, I've got my oven. I was making sure it was on because my oven tends to not want to be on the proper temperature. So now I'm moving on to my second one, but that's not necessary for y'all because you already know how to do it now. Now I was going to show you the other one where I made it into a wreath, but I kind of messed up a little bit on it and it was not worth showing. So you can see that one's the wreath over there, but we're not focusing on that today. We're going to focus on the tree. Now, if you're making some type of filling to go inside this, you really want it to be cooked before you put it inside your bread. Because we're just cooking this, like 20 to 25 minutes, maybe even 30, depending on your oven. We just want the bread golden brown and cooked through. And so that filling is going to heat. But, like if it's chicken or beef or anything like that you're putting in it, you want to pre-cook that. Or even scrambled eggs. You want to pre-cook all that before you put it in. I do a ham and cheese and broccoli braid, and it's so delicious. Of course, I'm using like deli ham in there. So it's already done. You could even use like leftover ham from, your Christmas. It would be wonderful. You could do like a scrambled eggs and bacon, even some hash browns. But again, cook those things prior to putting them into the braid. Then braid them up and then bake it in the oven. So that's what we're doing here. We're about to get these into the oven. Now you can see I had an accident over Thanksgiving and my lasagna spilt out on the bottom of my oven. So now I get a facial pretty much every time, a smoke facial every time I come out and try to get something out of the oven. But it has browned. Look at our tree. It looks so great. It is browned and beautiful. Our GBD, golden brown and delicious. So I placed the braid on a cutting board and I'm trying to show y'all and it's like not working because I already put a little cup of marinara sauce to dip with. So I'm like, okay, that's not going to work. I got to fix this. Okay, so now set it on the table. Now I'm moving the camera so I don't have to fool with the bread. You can see it. It looks really pretty. And I've got the marinara sauce for dipping and we're ready to eat. I brushed it lightly with some garlic butter. Yum. Perfect. All right, so for this Christmas bread, I made tonight, like a marinara sauce with cheese and meat. That's what I had. I didn't really want that, although my husband, that's his favorite. So that's what I made. I wanted something more, maybe like, a broccoli cheddar braid, or what I really wanted. I wanted to do a brie and some of my Christmas jam, but I didn't have any more brie. We used it all at Thanksgiving because I make a charcuterie board, but that was what I wanted. So that is a great thing to keep in mind to use as a filling for this braid. You can do any kind of filling you want. You could do a breakfast filling. Scramble up some eggs, put a little hash browns in there. Go ahead and cook them first. Then a little cheese or sausage or whatever you like in that kind of meal. Braid it up. Perfect. Christmas morning, you've got a Christmas tree braid. Perfect. I mean, it's easy. If you don't want the extra garlic or the chives that I put in the dough, don't add it. I put it in the dough tonight because that's what I had. But you adapt it to whatever you were doing. If you did, see, if I had done the brie and the cranberry jam or the Christmas jam, I would have put rosemary. Ooh, that would have been good. But again, I didn't have it to show you. But I wanted to give you the ideas in case you decide to do it yourself. You could also do, oh gracious, just endless. You could do a taco braid, put you some seasoned ground beef in there and some bell peppers and onions, maybe some beans. The sky's the limit, y'all. This bread will go for whatever. And the way it's made, the shape, it's just gonna, it's gonna take a plain something and elevate it to make it look really, really nice and festive. So there's some ideas. You use your imagination, put in there what your family likes and use it to your heart's content and have a wonderful, I said festive a lot, but festive is the word. Have a very festive evening and enjoy your time together with your family or with your friends or whomever you're going to serve this to. I have no doubt that they will enjoy it. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed this Christmas tree bread and make it for your family or your friends and just use your imagination and make whatever flavors or fillings that you desire or that your family will enjoy. And I just want to wish you the merriest of Christmas seasons. Remember, we celebrate because Christ came to this earth to be born, and he died and he rose again for us. And this beautiful time of year, we can celebrate that Jesus is the reason for the season and that he's made it all possible. I know that it makes my heart soar. And I just love this time of year just more than anything because I know the reason for this season. So God bless you. May you have a wonderful Christmas season. And I hope you come back again soon. Bye-bye.